Now we've got with me Robert Sinclair from the AMI. Thank you for taking the time out to speak to us for a few minutes. You attended the FSE in London at the back end of last year. You're running a seminar today. What can we expect from that seminar?
Well, we start with an economist from Nationwide who's going to talk about the economic conditions, the housing and broader economic market. We follow that with the panel debate, so we'll get some lenders and some brokers. There's a bit of a row about the market at the moment, so that could get a bit warm. And then we're going to look at some of the sectors of the market like second charge, bridging and lead generation to try and help businesses understand what it is they can do to broaden their income streams. And then finally we finish with the Financial Conduct Authority speaking about how the MMR has landed and what we can expect from them going forwards in terms of supervision. So hopefully that will be thought-provoking for people to help them understand what's happening in the broader market at the moment.
So what kind of feedback has the AMI had with regards to the months surrounding the MMR from intermediaries?
Well, I think the first thing that we've heard is that certain lenders' IT systems didn't land as they wanted them to, and that's given us some difficulty. In any big system change like this, you're always going to get problems, so we didn't expect it to be trouble-free. Those lenders are going through a process of trying to fix that at the moment and get into a better place, so that's positive. But that's going to take 2 or 3 months until we get into a better place. Clearly, we knew we were going to get changes in criteria, and unfortunately, we didn't get all of those details as early as we would have liked. So we're having to muddle through understanding some of these changes to affordability and what information lenders want. So that's tough for brokers to get their head round. So that's going to cause things to slow up. And of course, we've got the lenders learning their new processes as well. And that's going to cause constipation, I call it, in the system, where it's going to get bunged up a bit in terms of getting loans through. Now, that's going to be frustrating. If you're part of a large network and you've got contact with a BDM, it's easier to get through that mess. If you're a one-man band and have to go on a call centre waiting times are horrendous. Now we're trying to apply some pressure to lenders to get better at that, but of course it's difficult to get all of that through at any one point in time. I think this is about patience though. At the end of the day, we have got customers out there who want loans. We need to work hard to get them there. So everybody's got to work together to try to make this effective for them.
So what do you think will be the main talking points, do you think, in the mortgage market, say, over the next 12 months?
I think there's going to be 3 or 4 things. I think it's going to be what will the Bank of England and the Financial Policy Committee do to try to cool house price inflation. That's going to be a big challenge. I think we're going to have challenges around just exactly where lenders go on affordability and MMR. Are they going to keep asking about how much you spend on haircuts, or are we going to get some more sensible discussion from people about what genuinely affordability is? And I think we're going to see some issues around lenders moving stress test rates, and therefore brokers have to be quite smart at understanding which lenders are pushing the boundaries out a little bit more than others. So knowing where they can get business placed, I think, is going to be the big challenge for brokers. So they're going to have to up their game, I think, in terms of understanding where they can place business for certain types of customer.
So what advice would you give advisors to those who are trying to adapt to the new regulatory landscape then?
I think it's one of those things where they're going to have to work harder, and I think that's why a lot of commentators are saying that procuration fees may have to go up, because the amount of time they have to spend per customer and doing background research is increasing every day. And therefore, doing the hard hours to be a good broker is probably the biggest challenge everybody's got, because actually doing the work to get the customer loan and doing the work with the customer is the bit that's fun. Doing the hard background work to understand it is the nitty-gritty, but it's essential.
It needs to be done. So any intermediaries who are starting out in the market, what advice would you give those?
I think you've got to, I think if you can find a good mentor, it's a good place to start. I think maybe finding a good network to work with might be a good place to start, but look carefully at the contract, because a lot of people start in a network and then want to branch out and find it difficult to escape. So really, if you get involved in anything, whether it's a lender contract or a contract with anybody, read the small print, take advice from a solicitor, and be very careful what you tie yourself into.
In June, you've got your annual dinner, I believe. How are preparations going for that?
We're effectively sold out. We could take one more table, but that would be stretching the venue. We've now got our guest speaker arranged, which we'll be announcing tomorrow, so I'm quite pleased about that. And we're looking forward to a good evening.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you very much for joining me. Thanks for taking the time out, and enjoy the rest of the expo. Thank you.